Hello guys, it's me Simo Urahara, and in this video we'll discuss the events of the episode 15 of Bleach Anime Part 2. An episode that marked the beginning of the fights between the Quincy's and the Shinigami. Of course, they aren't a big fight, but rather a short clashes. It's like a preview for the next big battles. So the episode also knew the addition of an important scenes of Ichigo, that we will talk about it shortly. So guys, the episode started with a scene that doesn't exist in the manga. It is the meeting of the Sternritter that was led by Haschwald. And this scene was a flashback. Obviously, it occurred between the first and the second invasion, where the captains were training to fight without relying on Bankai. And here we must keep in mind that after the first invasion, the Shinigami didn't know where the Wanderreich location were. Everyone thought that they were outside the Cereity, only Mayuri who suspected that had something to do with the shadows, but no one would thought that the Wanderreich existed within the Cereity, more than that, inside the shadows. And this point gave the Sternritter or the Quincy's a great advantages, because they simply know what the Shinigami are doing, while the Shinigami don't know anything about the Quincy's, except what they saw in the first invasion. Therefore, Haschwald provided the Sternritter with a plan for their second invasion. Haschwald mentioned that Yuhabach expects the captains to train in a new ways of fighting after they lost their Bankai. He even expects that they might find a solution to the Bankai problem, so the Sternritter must fight them and kill them quickly. And he orders also the Sternritter to fight the ones that stole their Bankai, and there were 4 captains. So we saw BG9 hidden in search for Siphon, and while Busby met Toshiro, and then Kangdo followed, and Bambita obviously was searching for Sajin Komamura. Meanwhile, Haschwald headed to confront Kyoraku, and I really want to see just a short clash between Kyoraku and Haschwald. And Haschwald left behind him Yuryu next to Yuhabach. And I honestly like this scene. Yuhabach in front of him the battlefield like a chessboard where he moves his pawns however he wants. The other thing that excited me the most is how Nanao was using the Kido, a special Kido that's able to stop the Quincy's. And this means that some types of Kido can be effective against the Quincy's. And also one of the things that I liked is how Askin Naklovar dealt with Mayuri. On the contrary, many characters, as soon as they saw their opponents, they start explaining their powers and abilities. But Askin Naklovar, he didn't do that, and he decided not to reveal his ability to Mayuri, and not to engage in a battle that would require him a long time. So, especially since Yuhabach instructions were clear that they must defeat the enemy very quickly. But what made me laugh on the other side is how naive Toshiro and Siphon are, especially Toshiro. Did he think that those days that he spent training with soldiers are able to make his Shikai stronger and to fight a Sternritter like Busby? And more than that, I don't know why, but the CDU deleted an important information about Busby. First, Busby as a character, he showed a great power from the beginning. With a single finger, he was able to injure Kira with his fatal wound. Secondly, if you notice, Busby was among the 3 who attacked Yamamoto. He was accompanied by Ace Knot and Nanana. At first, we thought that they were dead, but then it appeared that Busby was alive before the first invasion ended. So what about Ace Knot and Nanana? The answer was in this scene. When Busby cancelled Toshiro's attack, he said that the reason why he and those who were with him survived from Yamamoto's attack is because Busby's fire cancelled Yamamoto's fire. And this shows how powerful Busby's ability is. I don't know what made them delete that, but Busby's fire is very strong. It was enough that with one finger he was able to hit Toshiro directly, and with 2 fingers he was able to make him fall to the ground. Therefore, the idea of fighting in cooperation with Matsumoto was a stupid idea from the beginning, especially with the presence of an opponent like Busby. But Siphon, on the other hand, she thought of a good idea to fight with Shinko, and she wanted to use it as a trump card, especially since it is the contrary of her Bankai and gives her a great mobility. But even so, Shin couldn't enable her to defeat BG9. And I would also like to point out that there is a deleted scene of the legendary character Omaida. In the manga, he had a brief clash with BG9 when he used his Shikai and his sister was seriously injured, while in the anime they made him like this to protect his sister Mario. Also, one of the important scenes that were in the episode is the presence of Ukitake outside Sirich in the Sakahuni area. And as you know guys, that the first captain of the 13th division is also named Sakahuni. And I have done a video about it, you can watch it if you want. And honestly, I hope to see a new fight for Ukitake where he can use his Bankai, or maybe the new fight that Kobo talked about is about this character, about Ukitake versus someone else. And on the other hand, as Yhwach predicted, the Shinigami seems to have come up with a solution to recovering the stolen Bankai. And of course, this is done by the genius Urahara Kisugi. What makes me always laugh is Mayuri's features as soon as he hears the name of Urahara Kisugi. It's like he heard a nightmare or something like that. So I'm really excited to see that meeting between Mayuri and Urahara Kisugi. As for the most important events that the episode had, it is Ichigo's scenes with Ichibi. Of course, those scenes that we saw are not found in the manga, and so it looks like Ichigo has to pass that path and reach the end of it. And it is that entrance. Of course, Kobo adapted this from the Shinto, and he called it Izaro Sando. And Sando in Shinto is the road leading to a shrine or something like that. However, the words of Ichibi that he was speaking from this scroll, they seem unusual and have many mysterious things in them. Rather, the strange thing here is that Ichibi's voice has changed. He talks about a path that has a beginning and no ending, and so that you must cross it without feeling weak or anything like that, because we saw Ichigo was struggling to walk, and he walked with slow steps. And as soon as he felt that there was a weight on him, the access points become far away from him. And what is more strange is that Ichibi has repeated the word vassal. And it seems that the condition for the success in this test is to be a vassal. Alright, it's like to be a container of what? Is being a vassal for something what will make you beyond the level of Shinigami? Does this have anything to do with the King of Souls? Rather, more than that, has anyone ever tried this same test in the past and did not succeed? And that was subjected to the same thing that Ichibi was saying, because this exam opens the door for many questions about what will happen to Ichigo and how the training may end. So guys, tell me what you think about the episode. What did you like? What didn't you like? For me, it was an average episode. It didn't have much great scenes or battles or even great important events, except the last scene of Ichigo. So guys, what about you? Tell me in the comments and see you guys in my next video.